I am Danny. I am the recruitment manager here at Code Platoon. I basically assist all prospects going through the application process. So really here just to be kind of a wealth of knowledge, assist you along the way. Ideally, we have a program that fits your needs, but I think it is a really unique experience for people to, go from um, giving service as a veteran to transitioning into civilian life, and we want to be an asset for you and an option. So, technology, I think, is a wonderful career path that's given me a lot in my life. And we have a pretty great track record of veterans that have transitioned into careers in technology. So, here to answer any questions that you might have about the application process, just in general, info about becoming a software engineer, whatever you might think is applicable or relevant. So, and hey, Gervais, I see you joining in. Nice to connect with you. I'm realizing now that that's a photo and not a still image. For a second, I thought that was a video. But
How you
hey,
doing,
Gervais,
sir?
hey, Kim, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions at all.
And you're welcome to unmute yourselves and just straight up talk or type in the chat, whatever you're most comfortable with.
Okay, can you hear me?
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm interested in I think the Python full stack programmer
Hmm.
session or whatever. So I did do the initial first step. So since I don't actually, so I have a degree in computer science or whatever, but I don't have the actual hands-on. So I know it's recommended to kind of do the free um, Python classes. So I have been kind of working through those or whatever to do the three um, test questions, I guess, if you want to call
Hmm.
them, in order to, do the second step or whatever. So that's kind of what I'm working through or whatever. So, but I don't think I really have any questions. I just kind of working through that right now. So,
Awesome. Yeah, I would say definitely the self-paced um, kind of intro to coding class that we have through Learn Worlds is a great resource. We also have coming in March, Intro to Coding Live, and that's basically sessions with an instructor. In this case, the instructor is the president of our alumni association, DJ, and we're actually working together right now to kind of revamp the curriculum to make it a little bit more informative and a little bit more kind of relatable to you. So hopefully, when you complete the Intro to Coding self-paced, it'll give you a really good baseline to then take Intro to Coding Live. And then after Intro to Coding Live, we are going to be having some blog posts about some just fundamental aspects of programming. But Kim, it's definitely a journey. I would take it as much as you can. It's kind of like being a sponge, learning a language, kind of getting in there and trying to build more and more understanding. But yeah, out of curiosity, I guess, did you have an idea of when you were hoping to join a cohort? Because ultimately, I think it's good to give yourself maybe about like 2 months before an application deadline, which most of our next application deadlines are in April, so you'll have plenty of time. But give yourself about 2 months to really absorb and learn the information. That way, that when you get to the application part two, it doesn't feel as overwhelming when you're going through those exercise questions because they're definitely not like, you know, for beginners. We kind of expect you to have about 50 to 100 hours of coding experience prior to attempting those exercise questions.
okay, yes, I hope to be in the April March class, the next one that you have coming available. So yeah, but I hope to be ready. I do know I did say, anybody can learn how to, code or whatever. So, but I do know you do have to know something coming in. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I think anybody can code. It's really just about getting the paradigm shift in your mind right. I think ultimately, it's something that people aren't as prepared for. So, like in general, and I think I'm frozen. Hopefully, my audio isn't frozen. Um, wow, I'm really frozen.
Your audio
It's
is
some.
fine though.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, it's something that basically you let me try just taking this off. Uh, Okay, everything's frozen. It's something that you really need to practice. It's like becoming a musician. You know, nobody picks up the guitar and is immediately like really good at it. It's all about working through it. It's all about being able to train yourself to get used to and comfortable with building that strength up. You know, it's akin to like working out, going to the gym. First time you're in the gym, it's probably not a wise idea to like push your body to its absolute maximum limit. That's a good way to get yourself fatigued, and then you never want to go to the gym again. It's all about kind of starting slowly, building that up, being diligent, and setting yourself up in ways where you're like, okay, every day I want to give at least an hour worth of coding. And then you kind of keep that snowball effect happening.
Awesome. Thank you, Danny. Yeah. We did have a question from Gervais in the chat. They stay in Alabama, but as a hands-on learner, wanted to know if the VA would pay for housing to come to Chicago for Code Platoon.
Yeah, and I think you gave a great answer, Kayla. I'll let you kind of run with that.
Yeah, so as I said, just kind of reiterating, we can have folks come for the post 9/11 GI Bill or with VRE that used to be called Voc Rehab, if you're not familiar with the acronym, but that's for veterans with the service-connected disabilities. So either of those programs will pay for someone to come to relocate to Chicago for the program. It'll give a housing stipend as well as pay for the full tuition. So if you have access to either of those, you're all set. And if you don't, we do have pay what you can scholarships, which could cover up to the full cost of tuition, but would not include the housing stipend. You do.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, that's what I would do. Just know that if you want to go in person, only the full stack software engineering immersive program is the one that's offered in person. That one is 15 weeks, and the next one will be starting, that's in April, right, Danny?
The deadline's in April. The next
The
one
deadline's in
officially
April. Yeah.
starts, yeah, deadline's April 12th. The course starts June 1st and it goes till September 11th.
Yeah, so for a starter, I would recommend that course, but I would recommend as you're get thinking through and settling everything that you definitely try. We have a free self-paced like basics of coding course that you can try out as you're getting started just to see if you even like coding, knowing for sure,
Yeah.
and to kind of build up some of those skills like Danny was talking about earlier. I'm gonna pull the link in just a second. Um, yeah. Is there anything else you would say about this, Danny? Did I answer that
Yeah,
decently?
absolutely. And just to correct myself too, the deadline for Dakota Platoon is actually April 19th. So still June 1st to September 11th. You have until April 19th to finish your application process. One thing I actually had a couple prospects ask about, which I think is good, especially Gervais and other people if you're not as familiar with Chicago. I had some calls where people were like, man, rent by the office, by where your where classroom would be is just so high. And I was kind of like, don't live there, you know? Um, our office, where class is held, is in basically the heart of the loop in Chicago, which is not really a place people live. It's kind of like living on Wall Street in New York City. Like the financial district, Lower Manhattan, is obscenely expensive. And honestly, just having been there, I wouldn't want to live there. It's kind of like a place where you clock in and clock out. Similar to the Loop, a lot of people work there, and it's a great and has a ton of energy during the day, but at night it definitely is pretty quiet. I would say that if you're not familiar with Chicago, there's a ton of different blog posts about, good neighborhoods to live, affordable neighborhoods to live. My personal adjective around this or anecdote around this is just live close to a train line, and that will honestly help you get anywhere in the city super easy. So if you, Gervais, were moving to Chicago, I always recommend anything off of the blue line and the red line makes it really easy to get downtown and really easy to get to the office. I know Kayla, you're kind of a red line rider. I think it's pretty easy, frequent, and it allows you to live in different neighborhoods without necessarily like having to distance yourself from getting downtown or around the city. So yeah, I would just definitely say like be in the mindset of what's affordable and don't try to look at apartments that are just like a few blocks away from where class is held because you would be paying a pretty absorbent amount.
Absolutely. I think the GI Bill and the RNE both pay a pretty decent housing stipend for Chicago, which is the upside there. But
Yeah.
yeah, like Danny said, I highly recommend living by a train line. That's what most of our students do. And if you were to come through and do the in-person program, once you're accepted, you would be able to connect with some of the other folks doing the program, and you could even work out like a roommate situation or
Yeah.
talk like things like that. I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Got a little distracted there because I just saw a comment come in. So in the office, is it a actual teacher or still virtual? So there is an actual teacher who is in the office, but the classroom itself is virtual. You would be learning alongside the remote students in the Zoom classroom. You will have an in-person instructor physically there with you as well. Right now, they switch off every other week. So the in-person instructor teaches one week, and then a remote instructor teaches the second week. But Adam's the in-person instructor. He would be a resource for you, as would the other students, both in person and remote.
Yeah, and I'll comment on that too. In person, I would say is a great option if you're able to. It's in a WeWork space, our office, which is pretty fantastic. I mean, they have a ton of amenities. There's coffee, great views of the city. You kind of get an energy of other people working around you. It feels like a very productive environment. I was actually there just a couple weeks ago, and yeah, it definitely made me feel recharged. So I would say if you are thinking about going in person, I think it's a fantastic option and would probably allow you just to feel more ingratiated with the class and kind of immersed a bit with, your classmates and then also with the instructor. There's also teachers' aides, I
Absolutely.
believe, that are in person as well. So you might be able to get a quick ear to them if you're having help, if you need help and want to work through a problem.
Yeah, we have an in-person TA as well, and one of the members of our career services team is in person and will come in and talk to the in-person folks in addition to the normal workshops that they run during the class, as well as the in-person folks and that in-person career services team member will go to networking events around the city. So that's a really nice option for folks who have the ability to do that.
Great. Well, I mean, Gervais, you're kind of our you're getting kind of a pretty, like Kayla mentioned, kind of intimate advisory process here. So would love to let you drive. Is there anything else that you have questions about? Anything that's top of mind? Any context that would be helpful while you have us, here and ready to help you out? Okay. Well, if that's the case, I actually what I can do here for you, Gervais, I don't think we have spoken one-on-one before. If you do want to have any follow-up conversations, oh, so you have a question. Oh, no, sir, just really trying to see about housing. Gotcha. If you want to take this link down, this is a link to my calendar. You can put time on my calendar. It just asks you to fill out your cell phone number. I can give you a call and we can talk through any questions that you might have if you're going through the application process and you just want to hey, Danny, I was wondering about this, or I was wondering if this benefit's applicable, was curious about life in Chicago, or something along the lines like that. I like to kind of almost akin myself to like a student advisor. So if you have any questions, if you need any help, please don't hesitate to use that link and put some time on my calendar. But very glad that you were interested in our program and wanting to take some time to connect here. But yeah, if you don't have any other questions, I think just as kind of a little bit of a presser, since this will go out live, we have some, deadlines coming somewhat up in the new year. So for anybody that might be listening at home, our AI Cloud and DevOps, that course, the Echo Platoon, has a deadline March 8th. Dakota Platoon, which we talked about a little bit here, has a deadline of April 19th. And then our evening and weekend full stack software engineering course, Juliet, has a deadline of April 26th. So really kind of a 2-month period. We'll have 3 deadlines. So if anybody's interested and if you have absolutely zero coding skills, now's a great time to get started. You have more than enough time to accumulate that 50 to 100 hours that we recommend to get through the application process. We're here to help you in any way that we can. And in March, we will have Intro to Coding Live kicked off. So if you're seeing this and want to sign up for that, if you go on our website, under the dropdown of Explore Programs, under free courses, is Intro to Coding Live. You can get signed up there. It's totally free. It is, having a live instructor and is a great way, kind of a crash course for you to get a good basic understanding of software engineering. So, yeah, I hope everybody has a happy and safe holiday break here, and hopefully we'll see everybody in the new year.